Good afternoon, and welcome to day 17 of 21 business days of Skilling You Softly. As I continue to take a deeper dive into soft skills each day for the past 16 business days, I've actually given you we briefly discuss a soft skill each day and the importance of soft skills in every area of your life, specifically personal and professional growth, as well as in your development. So I am Sarita Price. I am the coach who is skilling you softly to live and lead with confidence and boldness in every area of your life, not only the marketplace, but in your everyday life. I like to say that I help you not only take care of your business, but your being as well. So you can call me leadership coach, life coach, just overall holistic coach, because that's what I do. So, as always, thank you for joining me. And this has been phenomenal. As I stated, these in each day it gets better. The comments, people joining, watching the replays after. I know this. I try to choose a time that was during lunchtime, but I know some people may take their lunches at different times, and they may go back and look at these after and later on in the day or in the afternoon. I do that sometimes. So continue to give me feedback. I welcome it, and any feedback. And this actually helps me, guys, to better develop material and content that it's needed, because that's what I do in my business. One of the things, and I'll talk about that. I'll give you my information, of course, at the end of this particular segment of 21 Business Days of Skilling You Softly. But I customize specific training for organizations according to their vision, mission, and values, their core competencies that they focus on specifically in a leadership when they're training their leaders. Okay, so brief recap. Soft skills. What are soft skills? They are those desirable qualities, or those transferable skills that do not depend on acquired knowledge. In other words, they are your people skills. So, yesterday we talked about responsibility. I got a lot of received a lot of great feedback on that as well. So today's soft skill, what we are focusing on today, is time management. And this particular soft skills, you're definitely going to see how this soft skill really intertwines with the other soft skills, because it's going to hit on, and I'll kind of point them out as we go. So, time management. What is time management? Time management, of course, is the practices of where you're planning and you're applying mindful control of the time spent on specific activities, especially if you want to increase your effectiveness and your productivity. So, really, spending time, being mindful of your time, where you spend your time. Time management is one of those soft skills that, you know, it just depends. Some people have mastered. It's a part of a soft skill that they don't have an issue with. And then sometimes you have individuals that really haven't have some areas of opportunity when it comes to time management. Of course, what I do specifically in certain careers, and that if you are a project manager and you work on project time management, you have to be very high level with this particular soft skills, because every you have to plan, and you have to make sure you are in compliance with making sure you meet your deadlines. Which this is going to kind of we're going to kind of go right into time management tips that I want to share with you. First of all, monitor your multitasking. As I shared with you yesterday, most of my career when I started off, I was in administrative roles, executive assistant role. Time management was of the essence. Um, some people are good at multitasking. I am good at multitasking, but you have to be careful of that because you need to monitor that. Make sure you don't have too much on your plate. You can multitask. I'm multitasking right now. I'll just be transparent. This particular software that I'm using, StreamYard. So as I'm going live, I'm talking to you, watching different monitors, make sure everything's okay. And then I have my studio in front of me on my screen where I'm trying to make sure that I am monitoring something as well as the time. Now that's all part of this whole production that you can call it, but but in your everyday life and as well as your career, you need to make sure you're not doing too much. Monitor your multitasking. And another point, a tip for time management is make your deadlines. You have to make sure you're managing your time so that you can make your deadlines. Don't spend too much time or prioritize your tasks, which kind of leads me, these are kind of going together. So if you prioritize your task, some people have that there's a different like four quadrants are what if is it something urgent, not urgent, can it wait? How are you placing these? I know I keep a notepad every day. Normally I write out what projects I'm working on, the deadlines, when are they due, how am I going to prioritize. So you need to make sure you prioritize. If something that has to be done that requires your time, like I don't know, if especially if you're a business owner or working, if you have a training session that you're scheduled for, or if you have a meeting, of course you're going to make sure you prepare for your meeting before you do some of the other things. And then too, you have to make sure, I know as an executive assistant, there were times that I had 4 things going on at one time, but I had to make sure, sometimes more than that, I had to make sure I prioritize what is most important. So, meeting those deadlines depend on how you prioritize. They go hand in hand, because if you choose a task that really wasn't a priority, but you later find out this particular task that is due tomorrow and you're working something on something else that's due next week, that's not a good way to prioritize. So make sure and then two, what will help you to make your deadlines, prioritize them. Make sure that you are communicating, which was another soft skill we talk about. Communicate with your clients, with your boss, whoever it is that that you are communicating with regarding certain tasks, because that determines, if I, in my role as an executive assistant, I may have 4 things or 5 things that the VP wanted me to do, and I'm trying to prioritize. So I'll ask him or her, hey, so what's more important? When is this due? Make sure you have deadlines. Make sure you place deadlines on your tasks, because once you have the deadlines, you can prioritize them. Which leads me to the next one. Make sure you get rid of distractions. Distractions will definitely be a contributor to you missing your deadlines. I have to make sure I'm not distracted. One of the things that as a business owner, I talked about yesterday, I'm the CEO, I'm the HR, I'm the marketing, I'm everything. So I definitely have to make sure I prioritize. As well, I have to make sure that I don't have distractions that keep me from meeting the deadlines and the goal that I'm going to meet. Now, with that said, One of my services that I offer for my business is I do graphic design, and I am a branding strategist. So you when it and when I say, I guess I should say social media branding strategy. I'm on social media a lot because I'm looking at some different things and different pages, and but I have to make sure I don't spend too much time on certain things, because social media is one of those things. It's good. I'm actually streaming from social media right now. I'm streaming to, like I say, Facebook and to LinkedIn. But you have to make sure that you are using this. I have to make sure that I am using this in the capacity that it's for business, and I'm not just, strolling along and looking at everything and get distracted by something that I don't necessarily, need to look at the moment. Not saying that I cannot go back later on at the end of my workday and go back and look at some things, but um that's one distraction. Another distraction is when you are at work. I don't know. Some companies have certain. I mentioned social media. You may not even look at your social media page, especially if you're on your company property, their laptop or their PC. I wouldn't really encourage that unless it's part of your job and you're in marketing or something of that nature. But avoid any type of distractions. And if on a personal note, if you are a stay-at-home mom, like I said, I'm hitting all areas, and you have small children. Now, I'm not saying they're a distraction. They're definitely not a distraction, but just some tips to help you. What I used to do when my daughter was small like that, and I was home and I had projects that I'm working on. When she was small, I was in the workforce, but on the weekends, I still had things. I've always been some type of entrepreneur. When she got home from school, you actually have to make sure that you can involve your children's mom in whatever you do, especially if you're stay home mom. Actually, just set some time for them and let them know, hey, mommy is doing something, and it's to help the family engage. We can help you do what you want to do. What I used to do with my daughter, I used to, when I still sell Mary Kay, my Mary Kay business. I used to let her put labels on my products. That was her job. She put label on my products, and that would, in a way, it's engaging her. But while she's doing that or doing something else to keep her busy, I'm working. So you can find strategies and ways to help with your time management. And, always though, and I would just say this in time management on a personal level, make sure you manage your time in the way that you're not working 12 plus hours a day, especially if you have a family and have children. One of the principles I always love when I started selling Mary Kay in 2003 was, her philosophy was God first, family second, Mary Kay third, your business. So making sure that, especially as an entrepreneur, we don't work regular 9 to 5. I mean, I don't. I catch myself working 12-hour days, if not more. But I carve out enough time to make sure that I am stay mentally fresh, which is the next point. Make sure that you stay mentally fresh. I don't want to be at the point where I'm working so much until I'm mentally drained. No, even as work, a 9 to 5 job, or as working from home as an entrepreneur, I take breaks. Some days I stop. Some days on Fridays, which is, I call it my day, I may work in the morning, and after 12 noon, I'm not working for anybody. I'm finding time to do something that I want to do. Even at work, when I am teaching my customer service classes, I always tell them, just especially when we talked about stress management, which day was stress management? Have I got to that yet? No, that is actually coming up. I'm actually going to be talking about um Stress management, it's going to be Friday. So you make sure you want to tune into that. But, making sure you stay mentally fresh so that it can help you with your time management. You won't get burnt out so fast. Okay. Another thing, which is key, make sure you set up some reminders. Set up some reminders. My smartphone, I mean, it's everything. I mean, I have everything in here. I have reminders on there. I set alarms. Um, and calendars. Use your electronic calendar. If you're old school, maybe you still like to use the desk calendars as well. But make sure you set up reminders. If I have deadlines that are I set on my phone, I set all of my deadlines. And even with the smartphones, I don't care if this is an Android or I'm an Apple iPhone person. You can set your reminders to remind you ever how many days or hour before the project is due. So if I have a big project that's due, I'll just say March 9th, I may set a reminder on my calendar. The first reminder is going to be a week before. And then the second reminder may be the day before or the day of. It just depends on how large the project or whatever it is that I'm working on. So make sure you set up reminders, which is key. And last, manage your stress. And I'm going to go in more into detail on Friday. Make sure you manage your stress. I gave you some tips. I think it was on positive attitudes. Those were kind of some of the things or the tips I'll be talking about in a sense, but I'm going to go a little bit in a different direction. But manage your stress, whatever you need to do. I always find your happy place. Don't get so stressed out at work or at home or whatever it may be that you don't take time. Because I am a advocate of protecting your peace, finding ways to decrease your stress level in whatever capacity. That's what I do. I left corporate America as I stated in some of my other lives, and some people who looking at this may know I left my job in corporate America in 2020, right before the pandemic, because I was in a situation where I was so stressed out. My blood pressure was at stroke level, and my doctor was like, "Go home." So even before I gave my notice, I was on leave 2 weeks before because I was so stressed out. And my motto in life is a peace of mind is better than a piece of money. So that's why I decided to go full time in this particular, in entrepreneurship and doing what I love. And, if money was not any factor in it, I would do this for free. That's how much I love what I do. My stress level now is at a minimum. When I go to the doctor, and even and I don't want to give out too much because I'll talk about more of that when we talk about stress management on Friday. But find ways to manage your stress. And if you don't have any ways, guess what? Make sure you're watching on Friday. Make sure you watch this Friday. I'm going to give you some awesome tips, and that may be the day we may go longer than 30 minutes, than 15 minutes, which we're actually going a little longer today. But I'm going to give you some tips on how to manage your stress. Okay, we've ended this segment today on time management. And as always, let's keep in touch. You can find me, All Things Sarita, all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I have a YouTube channel, All Things Sarita. You can find me everywhere. I have a mailing address. And if you want to shoot me, just send me an email. This is my email address as well. And I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to any feedback. Please make sure you share these when you look at these and you think someone can truly be helped by the information that I am giving you on these soft skills. Stay tuned for more information coming up. I'll be posting some things of some upcoming webinars and some new endeavors that I've actually truly been blessed to move forward to do, as well as some new partnerships. So I am excited about that. Okay, so thank you again for coming. And I will see you tomorrow on day 18 of 21 business days of Skilling You Softly. Tomorrow, we're actually going to talk about teamwork. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Okay. All right. As always, remember this: soft skills get you through hard times. Have an awesome day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.